Steelers and Colts now in the win and loss column. The win goes to the Colts 27-24. Out in front early, and it gave us a picture of Justin Fields playing from behind. Fields stat stuff and 312, a touchdown, 55 more, and 2 on the ground. But in moments, some freebies for a Colts team that lost their starting quarterback in this game. Anthony Richardson out with a hip pointer. That meant Joe Flacco on in relief. $168 and 2 touchdowns as Joe Flacco does. Back in the mix alongside Ryan Wilson, Joe Musso, your host. And Ryan, I know you comb through these Steelers with a very scrupulous eye. What did you see in this game? Because I look at that box score and it does not tell the story of what Justin Fields struggled to do throughout this game. Did you see a performance that matched the numbers at the end of the day?
I think stat stuffing is probably right, and this has been a recurring theme for the preseason and now through a month of football in the regular season with Justin Fields. He struggles with the center quarterback exchange. It happened early, it happened late. That's not why they lost. I think they lost because I said as soon as Joe Flacco came in, this game is over, but he came out there spinning it. So I think Justin Fields is doing what they want him to do. The fumble in the middle of the field, you don't want that. But for the most part, he's taking care of the football. The running game gets going, incidentally, with Cordell Patterson, but not with Najee Harris, who averaged fewer than 2 yards per carry. But I think you feel pretty good about how they're managing the offense with Arthur Smith. It's not going to be sexy. It's not going to be fun to watch at times. But I think this is who Justin Fields is, and you have to be able to support him both offensively and on the defensive side of the ball. And there were no answers for Joe Flacco defensively.
And that's where I want to go, because Justin Fields in this form is the best form of Justin Fields we've seen throughout his entire career, outside of glimpses there with the Chicago Bears. The defense is what didn't come to the table, especially early in this game. Where did you see the disconnect there? Because this is a team that gave up more points in the first quarter than they did in any game total this entire season. Yeah,
I think they were down 17-0 at one point, and it started with Anthony Richardson and the run game. The first throw of the game was a great ball by AR5 that just cleared the underneath defender, and it sort of went from there. Michael Pittman had a huge day. Jonathan Taylor got things going. Anthony Richardson looked good running the ball until he took one too many hits, which also feels like a recurring theme. Got smashed on the hip by Minkah Fitzpatrick, came out for a couple of snaps, came back in and took a headshot, and that was his day. We saw Joe Flacco come in after that. So I think the tone had already been set, Joe, with AR5 in there early on, the balance between run and pass. And once Flacco came in, he was slinging it, and there's nothing you're going to do to fool him. And he was unfazed. 2 touchdowns, and it made it look easy at times.
If it's going to be Anthony Richardson leading this team forward, as the Colts certainly hope it is, what needs to change? Because we saw a season ended short a year ago with that shoulder injury and the subsequent surgery. He's still putting his body in harm's way, and all the physical gifts that are there. It'd be a shame if it was wasted again. Dealing with a pretty serious hip pointer, took a hit up high in this game as well. We'll bring you the latest news when we have it on Anthony Richardson. But are you seeing through 4 games a different approach, at least physically, by Richardson?
He and Will Levis suffer from the same issue in terms of wanting to be the biggest, baddest dude out there. And while they're built like they're the biggest, baddest dude compared to 99% of the population out there, they're at about the 50% mark, maybe a little lower for AR5 when you see him. But the issue is this: you cannot take hits as a quarterback, and it felt like early in the season Anthony was trying to do a good job of avoiding those hits, getting out of bounds, getting down. But sometimes in the heat of the moment, for lack of a better phrase, the meathead takes over, and you're trying to bulldoze guys for the extra few yards, trying to get the first down or get into the end zone, and that feels like where we are. And the physical gifts are unquestioned. He is such a special talent. He's a great person. But I said this to you before the 1 p.m. action day. I think that Jalen Milroe is further along than Anthony Richardson coming out, and that's going to be a conversation that we'll have for the next 200 so days.
And it is, again, the repetition that Milroe has been a beneficiary of under great coaching there at Alabama. Richardson didn't get that same level of coaching, nor did he have the opportunity to play.
A lot of football.
And time, again, being that variable for the young quarterback, he is robbing himself of time if he cannot be on a football field.